and welcome to the start of a very exciting vlog where I read only my favorite authors. So I have a lot of authors that I would consider favorites. I have a lot of like mental criteria for favorite authors. I have to not love more than one series. Well, one of these is the exception because it's their entire backlist. Okay, but it's one series. It's just that one. Let me live. Anyways, I have to love more than one series. I have to give them 5 stars. They can't have 4 stars. They can even have lower, but like consistently, I predict a 5-star, occasional 4-star maybe. I have to be really interested in whatever they're releasing. So, you know, I hear they have more coming and I'm excited about it. Some are Kristen Ashley, Alana Andrews, that aren't going to be in this vlog because I decided if I have a book of theirs on my TBR and they are one of my favorite authors, then I won't include them. So today is Speak Now, Taylor's version. Had the time of my life, Find Dragons with You. Yes, very, very exciting things. But today is that, so my top 3 of the vol tracks right now on like the first day, which it always changes, but whatever, is I Can See You, Castles Crumbling, and Timeless, which I think that those are the 3 that Jack Antonoff produced, and I am a major Aaron Dessner fan, so I feel a little betrayed on that. But okay, so the books that I have for this, here's my predicted ranking. I think Seduction of a Psychopomp, Boundlands number 3 by Elsie Winters is going to be my favorite book of the vlog. It's not out yet, so I will be reading it on release day. This is my favorite fantasy romance series right now. Like, it's my favorite. Cinnamon Roll, Heroes, this one's The Grim Reaper, it's an arranged marriage. I will be shocked out of my mind if it's not favorite of the year, 5-star, best of the best of the best material. Okay, so right up at the top is what we're looking for. Right under that, I have Princess, which is Kindled number 2 by Claire Kent. I love Claire Kent's work. I'm reading all of her backlist. All of her books have been 4 or 5 stars for me, mostly 5 stars. And the 4 stars just like weren't my favorite trope, and that's all. And this is a dystopian one where she lives in an underground bunker and has a romance with one of the guards. And then number 3 is Hostile Takeover, which is Blackwood Billionaires number 1 by Christina C. Jones. This is her latest release. That is a forced business marriage of convenience, and she has a baby right now, so she's not really writing anything, but I've been waiting on this one to come to Kindle Unlimited, and I randomly checked today and it was on KU, even though there was no announcement, but it was on KU, so I'm like really excited. I swapped out another book and put it in my list because I've been waiting for it to be on KU. Will say I think this is like a darker, more angsty one, which is not my favorite tone of Christina C. Jones. I really like her kind of lighter, steamier novellas the best. Those have been my favorites of all of her books consistently. However, I'm still expecting to have a very good time. Then, Dnficious Devotion, which is Wet in the Wild, number 1 by Aveda Weiss. I've read all of Aveda Weiss's backlist. This is the only one I haven't read. I've been putting it off and off and off and off and off, which you will know if you watch any of the things. This is polyamorous, paranormal, pansexual. Enemies kill you and watch you bleed happily to death in front of me. Enemies to lovers. With a forced marriage of convenience and healing and trauma and all the things. And I'm scared, and it's over 500 pages, and I'm scared. I think it will do well. The book that I am the most worried about for this vlog and have been putting off is His Curvy Rejected Mate, which is 5 packs, number 4 by Cate C. Wells. I love Cate C. Wells. I've read her whole backlist. This is her latest release. I haven't read it. Why? Because it's His Curvy Rejected Mate, and there's a lot of fat shaming in it, and I don't think I'm gonna like this one like at all. I'm so scared. I think it might be a 3-star, or it might be a D and F, or I might skip the whole middle part of the book past all the bullying and stuff. I am really worried about this one. I think at best, it might be a 4-star. And by and large, Cate Wells is mostly a 5-star. I also have a good solid number of 4s from her, but I have a lot of 5 stars. And I don't think that this is gonna be one of them. I really don't. I'm scared. So Seduction of a Psychopomp and Princess are gonna be 5-star. There's no doubt in my mind. Hostile, Takeover, and Dnficious Devotion, I'm predicting 4. And his Curvy Rejected Me, I'm predicting 3. Bye. I just want to film this so I can start reading. Hi, so I have finished a book. I finished Hostile Takeover, which is Blackwood Billionaires, maybe? Number 1 by Christina Jones, and I give 5 stars. So the goal of this video is honestly to have all 5 stars because they're my favorite authors. That's the goal, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, 5 stars. I was so happy with it. So it is a little bit dark because he forces her into a marriage, basically. I mean, she can go with other options, but the thing that she wants most is tied up to the option of marrying him. So he does that, and there's like not a lot of darkness, honestly, in this book at all. Not as much as I thought there might be, which is part of why I was worried about my rating for it. Because sometimes I don't love her dark books as much. Basically, she meets him that day and finds out that he has their company, you know, over a barrel. And he's like, well, you can marry me. And he's maybe not the best communicator. But they both have a lot of family stuff going on. And I really liked the pacing and the beats of the conflicts. So we definitely start out with them, you know, her especially just really disliking him. And then they're married and like she's still disliking him, but also like there's things intermingled because they have really good sex and all of that. And he's pretty considerate of her. He's very possessive, protective. That's my wife. Don't touch my wife. No one makes my wife cry. No one is gonna hurt my wife, all of that. So that's amazing. And they have a couple conflicts, but they're not like at the end of the book. They're more middle-ish, I would say, than third act. And I really liked that because I don't think that you can build this good relationship and then have that relationship fall apart and then be like, haha, just kidding, happily ever after in like the next chapter. I really do like for my conflicts to be earlier in the book. And that's what this was. And it was great. It was great. I loved them. There was a lot of stuff with their families that was like a little bit sad or whatever, but I think I know who the next book is going to be about, and I really want that one too. It's a new bottle. Probably not doing any of this right, just so you know. But anyhow, where's the hole? That's what she said. You got the wrong hole. Where the frick is it? There we go. But anywho, I have to go film this video, and I have started Dnficious Devotion by Aveda. I've read the prologue and 2 chapters. There are 61 chapters. And I'm just like, do I even want to read this? Or do I want this to be a DNF? I don't know. I think that they are going to do a good job writing it. I just don't know that I care to read the story that they've written. Which is true for, like, you know, most books. It's a lot of times it's not even that I'm not interested because I think it'll be bad. I'm not interested because I'm not interested. And that doesn't make it bad. Some of that is other people's favorite stuff, but Honestly, the only reason why I'm trying to read this book is because one, I bought it, and two, it just feels weird to have this be the only thing of theirs that I don't read. But it's so long and I don't really want to. I'm going to keep like chipping away at it in between other books until this vlog is over, and we'll see if I finish it or if I don't. I think that is my current plan. So I need lipstick, I guess. But yeah, there you have it. First update done. Hostile Takeover was great. If you want, actually, I read it because I watched a TikTok. It was like a different, like, arranged business marriage thing, and it put me in the mood for it, and I was like, I already have Hostile Takeover, I'll read that. And yeah, it was great. If you want that billionaire, marriage of convenience, hate to love, that's my wife, possessive, protective, and black. She did real good. She did real good with it. So that's all for now. Now I'm gonna go film a different video. Hello. I think that it's safe to say that you can tell when I'm filming this clip. So I have decided to Dnficious Devotion. Here's the thing. I have every faith that they did a very good job writing the book, but I just don't want to read this book. I don't want a 500-page emotional world building, politics and healing and, yes, you do have a place in this pack. I don't want to read about a band of misfits that found family. That seems like a lie, but all I really want is a little smutty monster novella. I don't want 500 pages of good writing about intense relationships and healing. I don't, and I feel kind of guilty about that, and I think it's because like Aveda knows how much of a fan I am. Like, I'm a huge fan, but I would never encourage anyone else to read a book that they didn't want to read just to be a completionist or because of their relationship with the author or because they've loved everything else. Like, if you don't want to read a book, don't read the book. So I'm just gonna do that for myself. I won't lie to you, I do feel kind of guilty about it. I really do. But I bought the book. I talked about it coming out, and that's just gonna have to be enough of a support from me, because I just don't want to read it. I just don't. And honestly, I really wouldn't be surprised if I DNF Cate Wells either. Because again, even though I've read everything else, I'm not a completionist. I don't think that you should have to be. And I don't really want to read it, but I'm gonna at least pick it up. It's gonna be a DNF. It's not gonna be a no pick, which I feel like if it weren't for this vlog, I probably wouldn't even try to read it. But because we do have this vlog, I am gonna pick it up. And then I might beg Elsie Winters for an arc so I don't have to wait, because reading is, I've had like 4 DNFs in a row. So that's it. That's your update for today. Bye. Hello. It is 10 o'clock at night and I just finished His Curvy Rejected Mate by Cate Wells. I loved it. 5 stars. So there is a lot of fat shaming and their pack is pretty awful, but they're only with their pack for like the first 30% of the book. And then they go to another pack that is lovely. And that really made a huge difference for me, that we weren't spending the whole time with this pack or like reconciling with this pack that treated her specifically so awfully. That's wasn't what we were doing, and I think that the pacing for that really worked well. I really liked his reasons, like his behind the scenes. He was damaged too, and on guard and all of that, and grumpy and all of the things. The whole rejection thing made sense. It was definitely a mistake, but wasn't unviable. I will say these
shifters, one, they never seem to recognize when they're going to heat. And I'm like, don't you all go into heat? Like, do you not know what you're doing? And then the other thing is, I don't know if I'm just fortunate that I don't associate this behavior with adulthood, but they act like middle schoolers. And it's just weird to me that you would be like adult grown woman fat shaming people or like being so petty or whatever. Like, and you know, like I said, maybe it's just good that I don't, but I loved it.
Hi, I just finished Princess, which is Kindled number 2 by Claire Kent. I love it so much. 5 stars. This is a series of like 200-page novella-ishes, but like 200-page books. And it's a dystopian world, and this one, there's this underground bunker, and her dad was literally a billionaire, and he like bought their way into this bunker long before the meteorite hit or anything. It was just a precaution, and this guy was already a guard for the bunker because it paid really well, and you know, it's a good job basically preparing for something that might never happen. But then the meteorite did hit, and you know, the world ended, and they've been in this bunker for 5 years. She was a high school senior when they went to the bunker. Her dad actually died a couple years in, and you know, he's been holding his distance, and you know, she could have anyone that she wants, and why would it be him? Claire Kent, okay, she has a definite like type for the story. You have this broody, silent, gorgeous, protective, grumpy man who worships the ground that the heroine walks on, doesn't know how to say it, doesn't know why she would want to choose him, so like of course she needs to be happy with someone else, but also just can't quite manage to not be attracted to her. And then, you know, the girl falls in love because they're amazing. The guy's amazing, of course she does. But she doesn't know how the guy feels about her, and then at the end, something happens, and the guy is like, of course I adore you. Everyone knows I adore you. How do you not know I adore you? And then the girl will go, you literally have never said a single solitary word about how you felt about me. So excuse me for not knowing. And that's how all of her books go. And I love it. I love it so much. So much. I will read another 10. No problemo. It's just so good. I just love it. And like, we already know which couples the other books in this series are, and I really might read them much sooner rather than later. She hasn't been like had any releases since December, since the last book in the series, so I've been kind of, you know, pacing it out a little bit because I don't really want to run out. So I already ran out of Cate Wells backlist, and like, I don't know, it's like this very specific type. I just like want to have it there for when I want it, but I might just read them because I love them and I want more. Speaking of I love them and I want more, I complained loudly and was offered an ARC of Seduction of a Psychopomp, and I am super duper excited about it, so I'm actually going to start that now. Yeah, I'm ready for this marriage of convenience with the Grim Reaper. So far, we have managed to have 3 5 stars. Anyways, that's really exciting because I really wasn't too sure about a couple of them, but I am sure. I was sure about Princess, and I am sure about Seduction of a Psychopomp. There's literally not a single sliver of doubt in my mind. Not only because there never was, but also I do know a couple people who've already read it, and Robin, and they already loved it. So let me tell you, my ability to simultaneously not sign up for ARCs and also be very annoyed at all the people who got an ARC, I've got it on lock. I can do it all day long. So that's a special skill set. So you're welcome. But thankfully, Elsie was like, you can just have an arc. And it only took me like 18 tries on BookFunnels, so I can call that a win for the technologically challenged.
So I was just looking on Amazon for the next book, and lo and behold, there's a 5th book out that came out June 28th. And I've been looking on her website. I've been looking on Amazon every little bit to see if like there's any upcoming releases, and nothing. And there was a release in the series that I'm reading, and I'm so annoyed. I'm not really that annoyed because I'm not actually caught up to that book yet. But like, it would have given me permission to read more because there was another one coming. Oh well, I just thought you should know that since I literally just told you that there weren't any releases since December. Apparently there was one June 28th.
Alright, it is the next morning, and it is time to wrap up this vlog because I finished Seduction of a Psychopomp by Elsie Winters. This is a Grim Reaper. They are immortal, and they also have a magic where they can choose one person, basically, you know, their mate, and they can bond with them, and that person will also have eternal life, basically, although it can take like a few years for them actually to be immortal, etc. For reasons that are kind of alluded to but not necessarily spelled out for us, we know that our Grim Reaper Victor, his grandmother has like this special like fondness for this Fae family. The youngest granddaughter has a chronic illness, but she is literally to the point of death. So she is in a magical stasis to kind of just preserve her at death's door. The Reapers, they basically have arranged marriages all the time anyways because it's for eternity. They don't leave it up to the young and dumb. Grandma picks her, partially because she has like this connection to the family, but she also feels like they would be well suited. That's why she picks him specifically out of her grandsons that are available. So we open up, he has to go to Fairy and he has to do this arranged marriage to this girl who, when like he meets her, she's not even conscious. She's just, you know, wasting away in the bed. And then they have this big wedding and she's crying through the wedding, and after the wedding they have to do like this big reception dinner, and she is just like exhausted. Like they gave her all these magical healing draughts and potions and spells and stuff to try and like prop her up through the ceremony, and in the ceremony they exchange magic. Like she gets his magic, but it's not an instant thing at all, so she's still basically just as weak as she was just now. She's not going to die. It's fighting the damage to her organs and the damage that her immune system has done and all of this. He's like, do you want to do that? And she's like, no, I don't want to do this. And she's saying it like, you know, assuming that there's no other option. And he's like, all right. You're my priority now. I don't care who's mad about it. And so he like steals her away from the wedding. They've gotten married, the wedding's over, but he's like, no, you're not suffering through this wedding reception. And slowly over, you know, the weeks and stuff, she's starting to get a little bit better as his magic helps her. And it talks about, you know, the reality of just knowing that you can only use this much energy on whatever choice you want to make for the day, and how having any sort of energy or not being in constant pain, like you don't remember what it's like to be like that. They're so sweet. He is so bashful and shy, and he like keeps blushing and stuff, and she's also quite shy. Like she's very quiet, and she's not like particularly aggressive or anything, but she's like trying to seduce him. It's so cute. And I love when we have an immortal, like a Grim Reaper, but we have like a very young one. So he's only like 36 and she's 28. So like, even though they're gonna live forever, they're just in the regular human lifespan right now. And you know, his sister is over 400 years old and it's just like, he's a baby, he can't get married. That type of thing. I love that. There's something about it I just love. So we start like this whole thing at the wedding, and like his friends can't go because they have to go through the underworld, and no one but Grim Reapers basically can survive that. Then there's all this time of her healing, like enough to even be able to travel more, and you're around his family some, and it's just the two of them some. So you spend like the first 70% of the book not being around the friend group that we have established in the other books. And I wasn't quite expecting that, but I do think that it worked very well for this story. Like, you know, made all sorts of sense, made sense for them to be able to focus on their romance and not be, you know, all of the friend shenanigans. Then also I was really happy, like when we got back to the friends, and it was like, my people. And like the baby dragon that's not really a baby anymore, and just all the things. It just so cute. We didn't really get to see Jordan, the vampire, but he was the one that we like didn't see. But everyone else we got some interactions with, and he was referenced. Overall, it was just a delight. It was just the happy fantasy romance that I wanted. It was sweet. It was steamy. It was Elsie Winter's brand. Like, she's just very consistent with what you can expect from her, and I love it. Like, you're not gonna be stressed out in her fantasy romance books. It's gonna be okay. I do not know where she's going from here, because all of the friends are paired up and everything. Maybe I'll message her right now. I'd be like, who are you writing the next book about? Are we getting more in this series, or are we getting like something else? I need to know. I love how I do this, but really it's just me on my phone. That's fine. I kind of really want to know that now. God, how am I gonna live without this knowledge? But anyway, so overall, a very successful vlog. Even Dnficious Devotion, I really don't look at as a negative. I really don't. It's no reflection on the book whatsoever. It's just, there's no sense in me making myself read a book that I don't want to read. And that's kind of the whole thing. But everything else was a 5-star. I don't even really want to rank them, because they all are their very specific like author flavor, and I love that, but I don't necessarily really feel like comparing them to each other. You know, they did what I expected them to do, and they did it very well, as evidenced by the fact that they all got 5 stars. And I'm just really, really happy with, you know, my reading results. Seduction of a Psychopomp, sweet fantasy romance, princess, grumpy dystopian romance, hostile takeover, enemies to lovers, billionaire romance, and his Curvy rejected mate. A lot of groveling, we had some bullying, but really you just had a man that, you know, lost his temper for 2 seconds. And his mate saved him. She saved him, and I just love that for them. So that's it. That's my favorite authors. I'm really glad that I did this, because I would not have clustered so many of my favorites like right next to each other, because again, like I don't love running out of everything, and as I like run out of favorite authors backlist without finding a new favorite author that I want to read, it's just like you have to have something to fall back on if you need it. So I really wouldn't have clustered all these together. I probably would have spaced them out much more. And I'm glad that I did it, because I really just wanted some good books. I'm really glad that I got that. So that's it. Seduction of a Psychopomp comes out on Friday, the 21st. Dnficious Devotion is no longer available in Kindle Unlimited, I don't think, but the rest are available in Kindle Unlimited. So if you haven't read these authors, I literally can't recommend them enough. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.